levels are good?
Yeah, I know my voice.
Okay.
I was like, I'm a 65. Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Cool. Hello, I'm Khalil Hacker. This is my VHStacks here at Source Bookstore in one of the coolest little VHS sections I've seen in my entire life. I'm so excited to get my grubby little fingers on all of these. VHS, I was kind of around for the tail end of. So for me, it's childhood stuff. Like opening up one of the white clamshells from Disney or one of the other kid franchises. Like the smell of that is really what VHS is to me. So I'm kind of looking at the kids' movies, and already I'm seeing one that was a big deal to me as a kid and probably got wore out at home. Scooby's Spookiest Tales. Just a little compilation of some of the best episodes of the Scooby-Doo shows. We got Scaredy Cats, a gaggle of galloping ghosts, That's Snow Ghost, and Which Witch is Which. This right here is near and dear to my heart. I love Scooby. I love little mysteries, and I feel like this was my gateway drug into horror movies. I feel like any kid who grew up loving Scooby-Doo is very anti-establishment and loves horror. So thank you, Scooby and the gang. Okay, so this here is an all-timer. I know this was also featured in another video, but it was not actually picked up, and I am very thankful for it because I want this to be in my house very much. Elephant Man by the late, great David Lynch, one of our best filmmakers, period. I think anything I do, even if it's editing like this video here, everything I do is slightly inspired by this man and everything he did. And I think technically this is probably his best movie. Might not be my favorite of all of his, but I think this one here is the most accessible to any audience member and something that like everyone should watch at some point in their lives. I'm not big into, oh, dude, you have to see this. You're not a film fan if you haven't seen this. But this one here is important. If this movie doesn't make you cry, I don't think you have a heart. Guillermo del Toro has a really good quote about collecting, whether it be movies, books, video games, just like any sort of physical media. We're like the keepers of the text. We are holding on to these stories for future generations. And so I hope when I'm long gone, somebody out there finds a VHS player, Blu-ray player, whatever my collection is, and they are able to still witness these stories. Here we go. So I don't know if I've ever seen this recording here, but a big part of my life has been with theater. I love storytelling, and so naturally I just kind of accidentally found my way into working with a theater for probably about half of my life. And I think the show that really set into me like, oh, I love theater. I love this way of telling a story, and just musicals in general, was probably seeing Les Mis live for the first time. I think there's something so magic about pulling off that show. I get really excited when I watch a movie and I see someone pull off like a really good long take, and I think this show itself is such a feat. Like, it's such a beast of a show that any production that puts it on live, if they can start that show and then make it to the very end, that is a feat of nature. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. So, speaking of long takes and theater kind of matching up with movies, Nicolas Cage in Snake Eyes. This has some of the craziest cinematography. I feel like as far as Brian De Palma movies go, this is a little bit slept on these days, but there's an opening shot that goes throughout an entire like sports arena at the very beginning of this movie that I think should be studied by the human race. Nicolas Cage, as always, just giving a bonkers performance. I think he is one of our best working actors. Dude, I don't know. I think if someone thinks I'm as crazy as Nicolas Cage at some point in my life, I did something right. All right, here we go. My next addition to this deck will be Reservoir Dogs. This was the first time I saw a movie and thought to myself, like, oh, it's doable. Like, he took a very small budget and a very simple story and told a very compelling story. This kind of opens up your eyes to, like, oh, any of us can just grab a camera, a bunch of friends, go into a warehouse and tell a story. Storytelling, I think, is so important, and I think more people, even if they don't feel like they have the means to tell a story, they absolutely do. Storytelling is kind of like the big thing that sets us aside from just animals. I think, like, taxes and stories are what makes us human, and I would much rather tell a story. And this one here just makes it seem so achievable. Oh my god! What have I done? All right, I got one more. There's one more here. This is incredible work. This is the Coen Brothers Fargo. This script, I think, plays like a symphony. I recently saw this on the big screen for the first time at Last Picture House, and it really just showcases how much mastery is done in this movie. Like, watching Frances McDormand's face on a big screen and seeing all the little ticks and quirks just really sets in, like, oh, she's one of the greats. Also, the visuals, the cinematography by Roger Deakins in Fargo. I think this is some of the best nighttime cinematography. I feel like that's not really talked about a lot in this. Like, you know, obviously the snow is gorgeous and the Midwest landscapes are gorgeous. But there is, I think, just one scene, really, that takes place at night that just feels so nighttime to me. It feels so nighttime on a highway. He has such limited light to work with. It is the headlights and the taillights of cars, and he found a way to give a very, like, visceral image just using the lights of cars. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's very few perfect movies. I do think Fargo is one of them. Does it count if I can't fit it all in one hand? Now look, I did it.
Yeah, I think that'll be fine.
Yeah.
As long as you can see. Can we see the names on all of them? I think the bottom ones around.
Fuck! I mean, shoot.
You can say fuck, huh? I mean,
fuck!
We're not monetized.
Okay. Alright. I found the X-Files. The X-Files is really good. Mulder and Scully have a chemistry that is so palpable. I don't think two people are hotter on screen than Mulder and Scully. And with that, I will say thank you, Source Books, and thank you, Cary Grant died here. This is my VHStacks. Yeah. Hell yeah, movies. Hell yeah, physical media. I gotta get out of here.